Hello, Futswith here. So, gift number 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. This was given to me the same time as the naphtha stove. It's a Colman single mantle naphtha lantern. Naphtha, it can be dangerous if you don't do it properly, but if you do, it's quite safe. Such as you always use a filter to fill your devices. If they're hot, obviously don't fill them. You know, it's like an little alcohol stove. If it's hot, you don't put alcohol in it because it might go poosh. How are we getting that? Very good. There's the mantle. They're very delicate once they... Whoops, sorry. They're very delicate once they have been lit. So if you do buy a lantern like this, whether it be propane, isobutane propane, or naphtha, I guess basically any lantern that uses a mantle like this, you want to keep spares. Because if you don't, chances are pretty good that by the time you get to a campsite, if there's been a lot of bouncing, your mantle's going to go. It's unfortunate, but that's the way these things are. I forget exactly how much time you get on a tank of naphtha, but it's quite a bit. And this is quite bright, produces a nice bit of heat. You definitely want to have a tent opening in the tent if you're using it in a tent, and keep it away from the sides. But if you're outside, as an example, sitting on a deck, it's great. Gives you light. You take this off to replace the globe. Filler cap is here. Your pump is here. You give it a turn, and then pump it up. You put your thumb over the hole, pump, and then once it's pumped up, you twist it this way to close it. Don't do it too tight because it'll be a pain in the butt to untighten. This keeps a constant pressure, so once you put pressure on it, don't remove the fuel cap. So basically you wait till it runs out of pressure or out of fuel before you fill it again. And then again, as I said earlier, let it cool down. There is a space right here where you can put your match. Long matches or those barbecue lighters work great. It's a hole, you can see it right here. And if this was a double mantle, there would be space for another hole. Simplest way, light your match, or as I like to use, and as already said, the barbecue lighter. Put it in, turn your fuel knob, which was that big knob in the middle between the fuel cap and the pump, and keep turning till it lights up. And then I believe, it's been a while since I used them, so you turn it on full blast, it lights up. Once it warms up a little bit, it settles down. You may get some flames and sputtering and stuff in the beginning because it's fuel that's been being aerosolized due to the pressure, and you need to, when the lantern heats up, it calms right down and you get a constant a little alarming when you first light this or the naphtha stove, because it takes, you know, a few seconds for it to heat up, and then once it heats up a little bit, it settles right out, and they work great. My parents had a red lantern like this and a green Colman stove like I've already showed you, with the red tank. A little older than the one I have, actually quite a bit older than the one I have. It had a little more rounded edges, if I remember correctly. But these work great, and this one's in amazing shape. And if my sisters and brother-in-law's friends ever see this video, I thank them very much. I picked this up in Canadian Tire. I know it just looks like a piece of black plastic, but basically it's made to fit several lanterns. You set it in, fold your handle down, and there's a plastic piece that slides over, and the tabs fold underneath, and you just pull those out a bit, not too much because they're kind of flimsy. I'm a little worried that the $30 I paid for this plastic thing to protect this amazing little lantern might not be a good buy, but it is Colman, so it should last. Most of their stuff does, like 90% of it. They have made a few things that are kind of iffy, but not that much. So that was $30 for the plastic case, and it's well worth it because your mantle, it helps to keep the lantern flat, and you can pack it in and you can put it in nicely and then strap it in place, and you don't have the straps on the lantern or on the globe, which is glass, and it breaks. They do sell replacement parts for all of these. This is the fuel for the Colman stove and lantern. Some people call it white fuel. A lot of people call it camp fuel, but it's naphtha. That was 20 bucks. It doesn't come with the funnel. This is a Coughlin's funnel with a screen. I don't have the proper Colman funnel. When I find a place that has one, I'll grab one. I have a sneaking suspicion it'll probably be a bit expensive, but it's damned well worth it because it has a nice cotton filter. And because this stuff is under pressure, any dirt that goes into the tank would get forced into the tubes, and you have small little nozzles and they can get jammed with stuff. So it's best to filter that because you never know what's going to fall in while you're filling. And a tip, always when you're filling those, use a funnel. Naphtha evaporates fairly quickly, but if you get it on clothing and that, not so quickly. Been there, done that when I was a kid. Anyway, talk to you later.